Tonight, we start with the Scripps News investigation and the latest in our Scripps News series on the silent toll of the fentanyl epidemic. Haley Bull at the White House. And Haley, leading up to this, the administration urged compromise. But what is the reaction today? The Super Bowl is now the most watched event on television since the moon landing back in 1969.
Wow.
James, long nights, nothing new there in Vegas, but where do things stand on a couple of those key races tonight?
What do you think about, personally, I love taco pizza. My husband is disgusted every time I buy it, but I love it.
I love taco pizza. What gets me on this one is the gravy. I just can't imagine gravy on a pizza, but I guess if you're in a bind.
If it's pre-made.
I don't know. It doesn't look bad, though.
Slab of frozen gravy.
And now, our latest investigation. A child is rushed to the hospital with overdose symptoms, then revived quickly with Narcan, a powerful opioid antidote. That should be a huge red flag that the child has been exposed to opioids, possibly the very deadly drug fentanyl. Now, you might think that would lead to immediate action to make sure the child is in a safe environment. But our investigation found many of those blatant warning signs can go overlooked. Scripps News' Lori Jane Gliha has been reporting these stories for us. She has the latest now on this epidemic's toll on children. Lori Jane, obviously very disturbing. What is the latest you have found? Glad to hear about those changes, an eye-opening investigation. Lori Jane Gliha, thank you so much for that. And still ahead tonight, the clock is ticking for the United Auto Workers to reach an agreement with Detroit's big three automakers. The deadline, tomorrow night, or else the union will go on strike. Well, the details coming up in just minutes. And after the break, a manhunt for a convicted killer comes to an end. How police were able to put an escaped inmate back behind bars after being on the run for 2 weeks. An escaped inmate is back in police custody tonight after being on the run for 2 weeks. 34-year-old Danilo Cavalcante was able to escape a Pennsylvania prison in Chester County on August 31st. And this morning, around 8 a.m., he was spotted in a wooded area a little over 30 minutes from the Chester County prison. The 2-week search involved hundreds of officers, helicopters, drones, and a police dog. During a news conference this morning, Pennsylvania State Police responded to the time it took to capture Cavalcante.
There will always be people who think they can do this job better.
Our Addie Guajardo has been covering this story since the very beginning. She was able to speak to people in the community and get the next steps from police. Let's keep the conversation going tonight. I want to bring in now Matthew Mangino. He's a criminal attorney and the former district attorney for Pennsylvania. Mr. Mangino, this manhunt took 2 weeks to complete, multiple agencies involved here. Can you explain to us just the process and the amount of effort it takes to have a capture of an escaped inmate? I mean, I believe he was spotted around 8 to 10 times in the immediate area, but just very difficult to track him down. And Mr. Mangino, last question. You mentioned that this was, in fact, a county jail, not a state prison. But with the resources available right now, what can prisons in general do in the future to keep this from happening again? We obviously saw that viral video of him just climbing the walls there inside that jail. So he was indeed motivated. Matthew Mangino, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Entertainment giant TikTok wants to turn its 1.67 billion users into customers. Still ahead, inside the new TikTok Shop feature and what it means for the future of e-commerce. Something we've been watching closely here on Scripps News tonight, a looming strike by the United Auto Workers Union. Now with just hours left until the contract deadline, workers are getting ready to hit the picket lines. UAW President Shawn Fain says offers from Detroit's big three companies aren't enough. If the strike does happen, it would be the first time in the union's 80-plus year history that it struck all three companies all at the same time. Our team of local stations across the U.S. has been following the latest strike developments closely. Let's take a closer look now at the impacts the strike would have nationwide. Joining me now to dig deeper into the effects of a potential strike is Glenn Lundy. He's an automotive industry expert with 26 years of experience. Glenn, good to have you back on the show. We'll end on this, the gas prices, right? They were the main driver behind last month's higher inflation figures. So now what's behind this surge at the pump?
Well, oh my goodness, you're asking some questions. I don't know how far we want to go down that rabbit hole.
Another hour of Scripps News tonight starts right after this break. Thanks for watching.